said it better myself. Savor it, be in it for. I always, I told my daughter, I was like, it's those pinch myself moments,
Mm-hmm.
make yourself remember it. Pinch yourself and say, yeah, I do remember when, we had a 2-bedroom apartment and now we have a house, you
Yeah.
know. So pinch yourself in those moments so to make you appreciate, how far you've come, and it
Mm-hmm.
makes you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, and I
Mhm.
think so often we neglect, right? Especially when you're driven, being in the corporate world or being in a family that may be extra driven and push you, push you, push you. We're always feeling like, what is next? I feel like we live in a society, even with like TikTok. Let's take TikTok, for example, right?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
addictive because you're like, what's next?
I
What am I
know.
going to laugh at next?
I know.
So we're constantly looking for the next high, the next excitement. And it feels like if we're not in that moment, then
Exactly. I was thinking that too. But it's just conditioning.
mhm,
That's the way we're conditioned in this society that we live in. It's like, what's that next big thing? You're focusing on that. I'm planning for the next 30 days and the next 60
mhm,
days. And like in corporate America, we would always have to set those goals and what's that next role you have. And I'm like, I like the role I'm in right now. Can I just kind of like bloom where I'm planted? I like this group, but it's always you're being pushed for
mhm.
that next thing to where you're not even thinking about or appreciating this little quirky group that you work with right now. You might just want
Yeah.
to stay with them, or what you're doing right now. You really do enjoy it. But we are conditioned to always go for that next, to push, push, push.
Mhm.
And sometimes you just have to stop. I'm telling you, stop, breathe, take it all in, and ask yourself, what's most important. Are you having any fun?
Yeah, and I think that's so undervalued. So I have a confession, right? So when I first started out, I've always been I've always been very driven, right? So when I was in corporate, I never stayed in a role longer than 2 years. It was like, yay, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go, or I'm bored. So I remember being younger and thinking, wait, this person doesn't want to be promoted. Like, is that okay? Right? But then as I got older and like even now as you're talking, I'm like, what a privilege it is to be in a place where you feel like, no, I feel really good about where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so underappreciated and
It
never
is.
really valued. But that's such a good place to
Mm-hmm.
be in
Mm-hmm.
to say, I'm actually happy where I am and I'm okay. And the boss is like, no, you got to do something.
You like, no,
It's
yeah,
not okay that you're okay.
no. We're just conditioned to push for that next thing, and I'm a woman of faith, so I believe that God created this world for us to enjoy, and He wants us to have peace and have a life of fulfillment. And He doesn't want us to always be rushing, rushing, rushing through life without even looking up at that sun, that
Yeah.
beautiful sun. Or you know what? I developed an appreciation for sunsets since I've been retired, because usually I'm like commuting, so I'm like driving, at
Uh-huh.
home. By the time it's nighttime, I'm in the commute. I'm not looking at a sunset. Or even with COVID, and I was stuck at home and working from home. I worked on that computer, from sun up to sundown. I
Yeah.
miss sunsets, but now you should look on my Instagram post. I have all these beautiful sunsets. Atlanta has some really beautiful sunsets.
Yeah, it does.
The sky just changes all kind of colors, and that
Mhm.
only God can do that. So you're doing that appreciation thing, okay, and you're taking some time to soak it all in and be in that moment, because that one won't come again.